afternoon. Welcome to a Calvinian architecture and to my garden. Today I'm reading from the 4th octave, 2nd chapter, ottavia, verse 2 and 3. Verse 1 in each chapter is a translation of a Calvino invisible city. Verse 2 is a story of a journey, and verse 3 of a house I've wanted to buy or live in somewhere. Verse 2. We're holidaying in Walkerville, southern Victoria, Gippsland, facing the bay and Wilson's Promontory far on the horizon. It's the autumn of 1977. Everything's moody and golden down there, and you drive for a long time through green, rounded hills to reach it. You see many lines of dark pines standing on the perimeter of farmhouses, protecting them, I reason, from what must be very strong winds, though when I drive through, there's not a breath of it. Still, you can easily imagine all that restlessness in the form of a cold mass of cloud and rain moving up from Bass Strait, and then perhaps from beyond Antarctica. I don't remember much of that holiday except for two things that happened. I made a little painting depicting the effect of late afternoon light on the body of the faraway Southern Ocean. Later that evening, just after the sun had set, I took a walk with Sonny along the crescent-shaped little bay on which Walkerville is built. We wandered up and down the beach 2 or 3 times in one direction, facing the shifting light within the cloud massed on the western horizon. In the other, the darkening sky gathered to the east of us. We talked very little, but the life between us seemed extraordinarily rich and full. I can almost remember it as an intense, incessant conversation in which many things were revealed whilst not a word was spoken. I know that, astonished, I studied the hair growing on the back of my hand. It was the first time I'd noticed it, and I was struck by how much it looked like a man's hand. A man's hand. And by Sonny's deep brown eyes, drinking in everything around us. She was 4 years old then, and as the world revolved around once more through another twilight, it felt to me that everything was made of string or connected by threads to everything else. It all seemed so very fragile. The hair on the back of my hand, the darkness of my daughter's pupils, through which she was studying the terrifying world. Terrificante, as Leonardo kept noting in his diaries. The knotting and unknotting of clouds, the rising of the cold tides, the pines massed around each house we walked past, the calling of the gulls to each other, or were they calling to themselves? The life now growing inside Christine, inside our house, inside the world. Verse 3. Cape Liptrap is just down from Walkerville, exposed to the wild southern weather. One winter's afternoon with Bruce Pollard, we stood on the edge of the cape, under the lighthouse, listening to the galvanized iron for sale sign banging incessantly in the wind. Imagine a lighthouse. I desperately tried to not forget that telephone number, and I did. Bruce did too. And then other things happened. I've often thought that it simply vanished from memory because I tried so hard not to forget. rather than just simply remember. It had a little orchard, 2 stubborn lemons, hardy apples, and behind, on a little rise, wonder of wonders, 2 magnificent fig trees, tanged with southern salt. Strange times when our world keeps being juggled and redefined. So paradoxically, I take refuge in what is insubstantial, memories that in this moment seem to have far more substance than whatever might seem to be real around me. From where I'm sitting, I can see almond blossoms about to bloom. That's all. And the sun is moving ever so slightly, so delicately, further and further south as the days lengthen. These are the little things that can anchor our day to substance, as can memories. I wish you a lovely afternoon. We'll meet again tomorrow, 4th octave, 3rd chapter, Ercilia. Until then.